Hello and welcome to sim.bc. Right now it's 10 past 2 in the afternoon, and today the day has blessed me with good weather and unfortunately lots of brightness, which means that the light to dark ratio in the room is out of whack, yeah, and in the picture as well. So if the picture isn't crystal clear, that is probably why, because of the weather deciding to be just so damn good. Which is, you shouldn't complain. It's a common Swedish thing, at least, or a common thing in the industrialized countries, that you just complain about all the things that you wish for most of the time. So you wish for like good weather, and then when you have good weather, you find a reason to complain about it. But matters less. Today is video 183. Now, most of you aren't going to reflect on that. I don't know if I've included it in the title yet, because that's going to be all in post-productions, but we're going to talk about the importance of that number later on. But starting off today, we're going to have a Saturday news recap. The audience goes wild. There is an anticipation in the room. Everybody's hanging out on their seats, hanging on to them. They're talking with each other like, can it be an SNR? Can it be an SNR? Can it really be a Saturday news recap? And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it can be. And all of you non-binary in between, you gotta cater to all of them audiences, right? Am I right? So today we're talking news. Just to introduce the news today, I'm going to mention the H3 podcast, where they recently featured Jordan Peterson. And I know that I've been talking about Jordan B. Peterson for the latest, 1.5 weeks, and that's just because I've been deep diving into his content and I'm finding his reasoning very enjoyable. Maybe not his opinions at all times, but his reasoning and wise reasoning as he does is real enjoyable to watch and listen to. So I'm gonna leave a link for that in the description below, as well as PewDiePie's book review. And I know PewDiePie doing a book review. What is this? What year is this? Where he's also reviewing Jordan B. Peterson's book and coming up with some interesting, perspectives on that book, which I also thought was quite interesting. So I'm gonna leave that in the description below as well. And if you like what I'm talking about, as you do, right, because it's the best show on the internet by far, then you will probably enjoy those kind of secondary content as well. No, but they're really good. I highly recommend you to check them out. But moving into the actual news piece, yet again we're going to ride with the international news here in week 8 and talk about Twitter and their bots and their purge of their bots. Because it has been such an outcry for this. When Twitter went through their system, looking at their users, and saying, most of these users, or many of these users that we've identified, are bots, or are just, troll accounts, or secondary accounts that aren't used anymore. Accounts that have been dead. And so Twitter went through this just to set the stage, went through their users and said that, some of these accounts aren't in use anymore. We should probably set up sort of a link to reality so that we can see that there is actually a human behind the account. How can we do that? Well, probably like Facebook does it, and try to connect it with their phone number so that we actually know that, the people who are actually active on Twitter are real people and not just some computer-generated account spreading false media and false news all around the internet, because it has been such a big, topic over the last year and a half, with all the fake news and stuff, and that social media should encounter this problem and try to solve this problem by limit the amount of fake news going around on the internet. And Twitter's response to this seems to be that they are going out and trying to what should we say? They're trying to block out bots. So this has been the big bot purge that has unfortunately prompted quite a big backlash from their community. People complaining about that they have been losing followers, and if they're followers that are just bots, then they aren't really followers, they're just ghosts. They're not going to give you any activity, so what's the big deal there really? And I know the social status and the social status quo, that you want to have lots of followers. I get it. I totally get it, even though I can't agree with the sentiment that should be a big deal at all. But many people have been angry about this. Like, what are people doing this? And I've been losing followers and I've been losing traction. It feels like I'm less worth as a human being on this earth because I have less people that have clicked the follower button on my profile on Twitter. I know it sounds stupid when you break it down, but some people have actually, or many people, I've been very angry. Some people saying that, well, my account have been blocked and so on and so forth. However, you only need to confirm it with your phone number. So is it really a big of a deal? I mean, I can imagine if you have 2 different Twitter accounts or more, that you only can connect one of them to your phone number, and that might be a loss, as I'm going to talk about later with Facebook. But in the big picture, in the grand scheme of things, isn't that big of a deal. And yet again, this is because of the fake news and stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of a ripple effect of the fake news what you would say phenomenon, that social medias have been looked upon to say that, well, you need to fix this and you need to restrict the amount of fake news that are spread on your platform, since the fake news seems to be the ones that are spread through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, you have it, and all other social media platforms. However, some people would argue that restricting people and actually blocking out people without truly knowing if they're bots or not are actually restricting, freedom of speech in a way, because if I say something that Twitter don't agree with or that Facebook doesn't agree with and I get blocked because of it, is that a restriction of free speech? Or is it a restriction because they think that I'm a bot and a normal person wouldn't say that or behave in that way? As they've stating in the article, the BBC News article, they've said that they're referring to Twitter, just to be perfectly clear that I haven't actually gone and read Twitter's own response. I've read an article about it. At least they said that Twitter were referring to accounts that have been, involved in unusual behavior and unnatural and unorganic behavior in comparison to what they've done previously, and those accounts are the ones that have been, kind of taken down or affected by this change. I personally, don't see what the big deal is. I mean, that they're going in striking, that's, arguably good. It's making the platform more healthy for everybody. I do not think that they're taking down people with a particular mindset and a particular political view, even if that was raised in the article, that people with, right-hand political views were taken down more often than left-hand political view users. Maybe that is because of the bot community. I have no idea. I'm not going to put myself into that discussion, because that only opens up the door for, stepping on people's toes unnecessarily due to my lack of experience and lack of knowledge in the area. So I'm going to leave it there. But it was quite an interesting news piece, I would argue, and I would say that, well, this is something that happens continuously, that people that, accounts are dropped, accounts are banned because of particular behavior and undesirable behavior and behavior that is going against the terms of use. Which bots are? They're going against the terms of use because you're supposed to be a person behind the account. So is it really a problem? I would argue no. And the biggest problem that I've seen from the community is that some people say that I've been losing followers, not actually the practice of blocking accounts. Which I think is quite funny. That it's the implication of blocking accounts, not the blocking of accounts per se, that is the problem, but that people are actually losing followers, which would say a great big deal about the social status in today's society. Anyway, moving on from that, we're going into some more personal news. Sim.bc has gotten a Facebook. And then it was taken away. Because I can't both have my personal one and my company one confirmed by the same number, or at least it seems that way. I'm sure I can make a personal appeal or some kind of appeal to try and revoke that and try to have both of my accounts connected to the same phone number, or at least get a new phone number quite cheaply and solve it that way. But as it looks as of now, I tried to create a Facebook, and if you find it and it's dead, you shouldn't have more social media platforms than you can handle, but I thought I could handle another one due to the, amount of time that I put in every day to this channel. I created a Facebook channel, however, I can't have that one and my own one confirmed by the same number, and so the company Facebook is now left for dead. Unfortunately, that is the truth. So if you find it, just keep in mind that might not be updated, ever. And that is one of the accounts that's probably is going to be left, you know, if we're connecting it to the Twitter account incident, one of the accounts, if we just look at social medias generally and overall, one of the accounts that will be have been created, taking up place at the server, taking up space at their servers, that isn't actually in use, and it's not going to be a person behind it anymore. So why not just take it away? Yeah, you see what I mean? I don't know if I can take it away since I haven't confirmed it to my, you know, number, and it seems like I can't even unsubscribe my email notifications from Facebook unless I connect it to a number. So I'm like, why can't I just take it away? Anyway, that matters less. What I actually wanted to talk about a bit more is the 183 number. And many of you are going to sit out there and be like, what do you mean with 183? 183? What does it matter, really? What is the difference between 182, 184, and 183? What is it that is that important in between? Well, I'm going to tell you. I began making videos the 26th of August, 2017. That was video 1. I said I was going to make it for 365 days. That's a year. If you divide 365 by 2, that's 182.5. And if you round that upwards, it's 183. That means that today, when I went through half of this video, I've been officially making videos for over half a year. And that's quite astonishing in my book. That's a milestone in my book. That's kind of a great achievement for someone who thought that I wasn't going to get past 5 videos. Not because my lack of passion, just because I thought that people would find it, kind of make fun of it, you know, poke fun of it in a good way, but I would still be so insecure, right, that I wouldn't continue. And now I've shown my friends, or some of me mates at least, that the company, the YouTube channel exists, and I still kept going. And now we're past 6 months. We're past 1/2 of a year. And that's just astonishing in my book. And what better day of, announcing that than on a Saturday news recap, when we're talking about what has happened over the last week. Which arguably this has been done, because it was yesterday, and half through this video I've been passing through, 6 months. And I know I'm just reiterating the same points, but I can't actually kind of grasp it and turn my head around it, because most of you are going to sit out there and say like, well, it's only, uploading one video a day for 183 days. It's not a big of a deal, but yeah, it is. The mentality and the psychological pressure and the actual scheduling everything for yourself. And I know this is more of a video for 365 days, sure, but I'm quite astonished by my own, presentation and the dedication and the preparation of actually doing this. I'm happy. I'm really happy about this, and I'm really, I shouldn't say surprised, but I am a bit. I am a bit surprised that it's worked so well up until this point, and that I'm actually looking at SLR cameras for continue improving the quality of the channel and growing it, and actually investing time in it. So I'm really happy with it. So that was the big news. Sorry, that was really rambly at the end there, but the key point is that I've been making videos for 6 months now, and if someone would say that, right, to me 2 or 3 years ago, 5 years ago, I would just be like, that must mean I'm a millionaire at that point. And I would also say that that's probably not me. But, Apocalypse and stuff like that, and reworked monetization rules, and, I don't have a million subscribers. Yeah. So, not a millionaire yet. But we're getting there, but that's not why we're doing it. We're doing it because of passion. But if someone told me, 6 months ago that you're going to be sitting here, probably 6 months ago, but if you say 2 years ago, I will probably just be like, yeah, if no one had found it. And now I've actually shown me mates it, and I'm still going. So 2 thumbs fresh in my book, yeah? But that was everything for me today, mates. Have a nice one, and I'll see you tomorrow.